Joe Biden creating news on the campaign trail tonight as one pollster says he can't find anyone in Iowa who's actually excited about supporting the man who is the front runner in all the polls. Joining me now, Trump 2020 National Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany and Obama's former Deputy Political Director Lori Watkins. Welcome to you both.
Hi, Shannon.
Thank you.
All right, I want to play something that the former vice president had to say tonight that is raising some eyebrows. Let's play it for you.
My two political heroes were Martin Luther King and Bobby Kennedy. My senior semester, they were both shot and killed. Imagine what would have happened if, God forbid, Barack Obama had been assassinated after becoming the de facto nominee. What would have happened in America?
And tonight, some folks are saying, listen, he's trying to get across the emotions of what he experienced as a young person there. But Kayleigh, some people thought that it was a rather odd anecdote or choice of words to share.
Yeah, that's right. It was rather bizarre to even bring up that concept, to even lay out that scenario, even as a hypothetical. But it just confirms what we already knew, that Joe Biden has completely lost it. I mean, this is a guy who thinks Margaret Thatcher is prime minister in the UK. This is a guy who thought that RFK and Martin Luther King Jr. were assassinated in the late 1970s. And this is a guy who thought he was vice president during the Parkland shooting, all which are false. And this is just within the last week. So this is Joe Biden, a guy who's lost it, a guy who could very well be the Democrat nominee, and a guy who will lose handedly to President Trump.
Well, Lori, he's got a lot of fans out there. I mean, he continues to be ahead in nearly every poll that's out there by a substantial margin. But with that in mind, an interesting piece in the New York Times saying that under the headline, Joe Biden's poll numbers mask an enthusiasm challenge. They quoted Patrick Murray, who's the director of Monmouth's Polling Institute. He says he's been there in Iowa talking to people. He says, I didn't meet one Biden voter who was in any way, shape, or form excited about voting for Biden. They feel that they have to vote for Joe Biden as the centrist candidate to keep somebody from the left who they feel is unelectable from getting the nomination. Laurie?
So my advice to Vice President Biden's team would be to you got to energize voters, and it cannot continue to be the article is right. It cannot continue to be that Joe Biden is just running on he's the one to beat Donald Trump. That's not going to cut it. Voters want to hear about specific policy issues. You have a couple candidates, top three right now in a close and contention against Biden, who are specifically laying out some of their policy plans and how they hope to accomplish this. And you're seeing some of the differences start to come out as the field is starting to winnow itself out, and as this next debate starts coming, and you have the top 10 currently on for the first night, and we're going to see what's going to happen and if there's going to be a second night.
Yeah, and Kayleigh, do you think it'll be different? I mean, there's been a split in the nights where the candidates have, the vice president hasn't had to face everyone at once. Do you think if it ends up being a single night where they all can take shots at him at once, he'll be prepared for that?
No, I don't think he'll be prepared. Joe Biden's a bad debater. He's wrong on policy. He struggles in all of these debates. He's low on energy. He's sleepy Joe. No, he can't handle a stage full of the other, I guess if you'd call any of the Democrat candidates top contenders. He can't handle that. But one thing that will be missing in this Democrat debate is he is going to be squished this time. Wasn't the case last time, between Bernie Sanders and between Elizabeth Warren. So Joe Biden will be pushed as far to the left as humanly possible. He already wants to eliminate fossil fuels. He already wants to crowd out private insurance with a public option. He wants health care for illegal immigrants. Well, now you've got Bernie to one side, Warren to the other. We're going to see socialist Joe Biden come out in full force.
Well, he continues to top the polls, not only on that side of the ticket, but there are a number of contenders who are really giving the president a tough time, too. We are still more than a year out, so we will see. And we'll be watching all the debates right here on Fox. Lori and Kayleigh, thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shannon.
All right, can a male sheriff's deputy be fired for refusing to work alone, long hours with a female colleague? Night court convenes next. Plus, an update on the Jussie Smollett case today. Next.